Next up, Green Bay Packers. This one hurt us, Colin.
Yeah.
We should have had the cover here.
Well, they were going to go in for a touchdown, but they fell.
Running back takes the knee at like the 2-yard line. Oh, so they don't get the ball. I mean, it's a smart play, but it killed us. Anyways, Jordan Love got injured again. This time it's a groin. Malik Willis had to come in early in the second half. And Malik Willis delivered. He had a really nice 51-yard pass to Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
And then the Packers get the walk-off field goal. Here's LaFleur on Jordan Love's status.
Obviously, high level of concern anytime a guy is in there, and he did it early in that first drive. And I think everybody could see him struggling to move around, and it got to a point where we didn't feel like, and he didn't feel like he could protect himself. So went with Malik, and can't say enough great things about Malik Willis, the job that he's able to do to go in there.
Yeah, Malik Willis has become one of the more dependable backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Again, a great organization, Green Bay, looks at an organization that doesn't have their act together, coaching transition. They go get Malik Willis. He's a highly, highly effective backup quarterback.
I know, listen, you like Mike Vrabel. Everybody likes Mike Vrabel. He's going to probably get a coaching job in this next cycle.
Yeah.
He moved off Malik Willis like, this guy can't play. Malik Willis looks like he's probably a top 5 backup in the league.
Oh, top 5 in terms of juice. He's got a ton of juice.
Like, he got thrown in there cold yesterday on the road in a game they should have blown out. By the way, Packers 2 for 6 in the red zone. I mean, that was the right side. They got to cover that game.
Yeah.
And Willis, all he did was deliver. Game-winning drive at the end of the game.
This is another example. If you don't think coaching matters, I mean, you watch the Bears off a bye. The Bears, like, first 7 possessions, it was 6 punts off a bye. You're watching Green Bay. Star quarterback goes out. In real time, put the backup in. Efficient, quick, playmaking.
No mistakes.
The gap. This is why the Packers have helped dominate this division. It's not just Favre and Aaron Rodgers. It's Mark Murphy, Gutekunst, LaFleur. I mean, this is a really good operation. Anytime they get something thrown at them, it's almost like they're prepared for it.
Now, game of the week is Packers-Lions this week. So, you want to guess the line?
Where's it at?
Will say
Where's it at?
It's in Green Bay. However, the line is assuming no Jordan Love because the Packers have.
All right, well, let's not go too far in the future because we don't, we're not really so sure about that. But I want to talk about this game, the Packers versus the Jags. Obviously not the game that I'm sure a lot of Packers fans were expecting, especially considering the Jags were getting blown out. But obviously with Jordan Love going down, they're just kind of changing everything. Yeah, this was another huge win, a team win for the Green Bay Packers. From everyone involved, right? The coaching staff, the players. Anytime you win in this type of situation, I don't care who you're playing. Jordan Love goes down, and now you have Malik Willis in there. Just shows you how connected this team continues to be and how resilient they are, and the amount of trust, right? That throw from Willis to Reed, to the pass who was honestly wide open, but just the execution, the trust to be able to execute that play with a backup quarterback, Malik Willis, I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, it really, really is awesome. It's just, you can't ask for much better than that. And then even the touchdown to Kraft, right? The play design and the play call, it just, great play calling and play design can sometimes look so effortless, and it can look so easy that sometimes, because I'll watch games with people who don't know football very well, and they'll just be like, how is that guy wide open, or how is this, right? They blame the defense of or of the other side of the ball, and it's just like, no, that's just great play calling, that's great execution, that's great play designing. And you have that so many times watching the Packers play, right, that you're just like, no, that's just greatness, right? It looks easy because it seemingly is easy, right? When you use your brain in football, it's a lot easier. And that's why, like, the Packers are just such a highly intelligent, high execution, preparation, high prepared team that it makes it look easy. That's why they're able to be resilient with the backup quarterback and get out and get these wins, right? Like, that cannot go understated at all. I mean, but I also do want to focus. I know Jordan Love obviously came out of the game, but I still want to talk about him because he obviously is the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Right. I know it wasn't perfect. But before the injury, he was 14 for 22, 196 yards, right? This was like all in just like the one half, which is pretty cartoonish when you think about it, right? Just kind of what he's doing, making perfect catch and throws to Dobbs down the sideline. Throws an interception, but then a beautiful ball to Kraft, off back foot, running to his right, 35 yards down the field. Like, it's those throws that are why he throws interceptions. And I've talked about that before. It's because he can just do everything. And again, effortlessly, right? It does feel like he's a grown man playing with 10-year-olds, that he's just like, I can do anything. And so, yeah, that was a tough interception that he had. It was a bad decision. The offense was rolling, and it is something that he's admitted that he needs to work on. But I think this is because I have such trust in Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur needs to figure out how to minimize putting Jordan Love in those situations. I don't know the answer. I'm not going to act like I do. But Matt LaFleur has to do a better job at helping protect Jordan Love from himself, right? It's finding that balance so he can still make that, off his back foot, beautiful throw to Kraft 35 yards down the field, right? The perfect catch and throw to Dobbs down the sideline. But minimizing these more self-inflicted things. It may just come with Jordan Love's own experience. He has to kind of continue to play, has to continue to get seasons under his belts. Drew Brees just did an interview with Colin Cowherd where he's like, in the beginning of my career, I threw a lot of interceptions, right? And then it was just over time, I learned that I needed to be better at probability and understanding when to take a risk versus not, and what type of throw to make, and understanding also when I throw an interception, why? Was it a bad decision? Was it a bad read? Was it a bad throw? If it was a bad throw, why, right? It's kind of really trying to figure out what is happening here. And to me, when it comes down to with Jordan Love, it's more of him just knowing to his core, I can make any throw. And when you can make any throw, like I said, you're gonna throw interceptions because you can just do anything. So it's just trying to figure out what can Matt LaFleur do from a game management and play calling perspective to sometimes minimize those things. Because again, it's not the worst thing, but it's certainly not the best, and it can absolutely come back and haunt you, right? It absolutely positively can. It could be the difference between winning the NFC Championship game and losing the NFC Championship game. It just can, right? It just can. The margin of error is still a little bit too small with the Green Bay Packers. It's like if their defense was 5% better and their offense was 5% better, and I think the Packers are a great team, so that's not me knocking the Packers, but if they had just a little bit extra wiggle room, then you can probably get away with it. And it's not that a concern because it's like, well, hey, man, yeah, Jordan Love threw an interception, but he threw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards does not matter. And when he throws an interception, our defense picks him up and we get him the ball back right away. So it doesn't matter, right? Like, the Packers are just not there yet. They're not that dominant. They're a great team and a top team in the NFL, make no mistake about it, but they still don't have this large margin of error. I don't think any team right now in the NFL has that large of a margin of error. You can make the argument, and sorry, Packers fans, the Lions, but that's because the Lions have this massive punch, but it's not like they get to throw it every time. So it all depends. They are able to throw it against these inferior teams, like against the Panthers and the Titans or whoever, but that only goes so far because you got to look at what happens when they play the Bucks, when they play the Rams, when they play the Vikings, when they play the Packers, right? Their margin of error will also shrink as well. But I think just overall, this continues to be another really big win, right? Love goes down. And then, the Jags score a touchdown, seemingly pretty easy, right? They kind of got this momentum down. And if you're watching this game, you're like, oh man, here we go, right? But then Malik Willis, and Josh Jacobs, huge runs, right? They both rip off huge runs to score an even easier, to score even easier than the Jags. And then it just is a huge momentum swing. Just great situational key moment football that was executed at just such a high level, despite far from perfect circumstances, literally missing your quarterback. Just big time. Big time, big time, big time. This team continues to show how resilient they are. I haven't seen what the update, what the status is with Jordan Love, so I don't know. And by the time you're watching this, maybe it's already been announced. But I personally don't know in this moment. So hopefully it's nothing too severe or nothing too lingering. But again, this team continues to show everyone why they are a legitimate top contender in the NFL. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, the team as a whole, Matt LaFleur? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. Some of you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.